Hey folks, walk with me. Well, there's a wonderful concept and a wonderful word that we have called maybe. And I feel like people don't like to operate in maybe. People like to operate in yeses and nos, goods and bads, blacks and whites, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of truth in the grays and the maybes of life. And the concept of things aren't good or bad, they just are. And here's a little tale to sort of hammer home this concept to you. So here's how you can consider using maybe. So the tale goes, there was a Chinese farmer. Doesn't have to be a Chinese farmer, it could just be a farmer. There's a farmer. And one day, his horse runs off. And it's his only horse that he has. And the neighbors come around that night and they say, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. I'm so sorry that your horse ran off. What are you going to do? This is a really awful situation that you're in. And the farmer says, maybe. And the next day, the horse returns. And not only does the horse return, but it is brought with it several wild horses. And this night, the neighbors come around and they say, holy smokes. That's exactly what it said. Holy smokes. Not only has your horse returned the very next day, but now you have several other horses. What tremendous luck this is. And the farmer says, maybe. The next day, the farmer's son is trying to break one of the wild horses and train it. And he gets thrown from the horse and breaks his leg. Again, that night, neighbors come around. Oh no, what an awful situation. Now your son can't help you with the farm. You're all on your own. You have these wild horses now that you have to take care of on top of your other horse. And you have nobody to help you. What an awful situation. And the farmer says, maybe. And the next day, the conscription officers come. These are people from the army who are locating men of serving age to draft them into the army for the war. And they show up at the door and they see the son and they see that he has this freshly broken leg. It's not even begun to heal yet. And since he has the broken leg, they can't take him, they can't deal with him. And they say, okay, we're not going to draft you into the war. That night, the neighbors come around. What tremendous luck this is. Your son doesn't have to go off to war. He's not going to be in immediate peril day in and day out. Aren't you so lucky? And the farmer says, maybe. That's the end of the tale. But this just goes to show when something seemingly on its face seems good luck, bad luck, you really don't know. You don't know what's going to happen with those things in the future, how they're going to be utilized by your own heart and mind and intellect and cognition. You don't know how you're going to utilize any of these things that happen that seem good or bad in the moment. And you don't know what other things are going to pop up unexpectedly from the world, like conscription officers, that are going to make what seemed like a desperate or dire situation actually be a welcomed, beneficial situation. And so keep this in mind. The next time you get the tremendously good, the tremendously bad, and at least that's your sort of like knee-jerk reaction, consider operating in the space of maybe. And the opportunity that gives you to just let it become whatever it becomes, no matter how you feel what it is at the moment. All right, folks, it's very bright here. So we got in a little over 5 minutes. And if you watched or walked this far, I certainly appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.